All right, now the question was, how many former Aztec coaches have gone on to become head coaches in the NFL? You think you know this one, huh? Well, let's count them, all right? Don Coryell, Rod Dowhauer, Joe Gibbs with the Washington Redskins, Jim Hannafin with the Cardinals, and big old John Madden. 5 in all.
Rebuilding. Now, how many times have you heard that word when you're talking about San Diego sports franchises, whether it be the Chargers or the Padres, Sockers, or the Aztec football program, except they're on top right now. And I really think they're going to stay there. I don't think it was a fluke. And the reason I think they're going to stay there is because of this guy, Fred Miller. I got to tell you something about him. He really knows what he's doing. He had this whole thing planned out. From his first day as athletic director at San Diego State, he started planning and laying down the foundation for a winner. And when you're trying to win, let me tell you something. Fred Miller is a great guy to have on your side.
I always looked at myself as a great fourth-quarter player. I was outmatched sometimes, but I'll tell you, with the fourth quarter, I always believed was mine. Everybody comes out of the chute in the marathon together, but it's the people that hang in there and are tenacious that overcomes the fact that you're less than super bright, and I'm less than super bright.
Now, one of Miller's biggest challenges so far has been selling the Aztecs to the community. And fortunately, it wasn't something that Miller saw as a real big problem, because at Arizona State, he helped the Sun Devils expand their football stadium from 30 to 70,000 seats, and he raised the money for construction of an 8,000-seat baseball stadium, a new track, and tennis center, and all that money came from private donations. Now, in a little more than a year, Miller's done the same thing here. He has raised more than $2.5 million worth of donations from San Diego businesses to build one of the best athletic facilities in the country. It's going to be a 32,000-square-foot building, and it's going to include coaches' offices, a weight room, a players' lounge, meeting rooms, and I guess any other kind of room you can think of. And all the work and materials were donated by the Associated General Contractors and Labor Unions. Now, obviously, the question here is, how does Miller get it done? And the answer seems to be quite simple. He says it's just because people love sports.
Sports is a great magnet. It's a tremendous glue that holds the community together. And if the Aztecs are good, people in Escondido, they feel good about it. People in Chula Vista feel good about it. People in Greater San Diego feel good about it.
Well, I think San Diego State had much greater horizons than the people thought here. I don't think that the football world felt that San Diego State could be a Division I power or a WAC champion. And there's no doubt in my mind that it could be, and that's why it was so gratifying a year ago. It's fun. There are only a few schools that you can do anything with as far as improving their lot in Division I football. And with the natural resources here, it's fun to take something like this and build it into a national power, hopefully a top 20 team, and we got across some of those hurdles already.
The thing that impresses me most about those two men, though, is that they understand public relations. And fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you view amateur athletics, big-time college football involves a lot of public relations. And these guys are quite capable of getting that part of the job done.
This town has to accept us. And if they accept us, and we're good, and they like what they see, they're going to come back. Yeah, we're different. We want to be different. We don't have a set rule book and say you have to do it this way and that way. We're looking to take football and roll it right into basketball. Basketball rolls into spring sports, rolls into football again. We just keep building upon ourselves. That's the reason I think that San Diego State is the best job in the country, because we can recruit young people, we can have success here, and if you have success here, we're a top 10 team. And if you're a top 10 team year in, year out, then why does Miami do it? Miami was in the doldrums 6-8 years ago, and then Stellenberger came in and turned it around, and Jimmy Johnson's done a great job. I mean, Penn State was so-so until Joe had it. And why shouldn't San Diego State be there? All you have to do is say, we're good, step up the bat, say, hello, world, come here, young people, we're the best, and we mean it.
They say that success is the last step on the ladder of failure. And in Fred Miller's career, he has certainly been successful, but that career has also had its valleys as well. He was with the Washington Redskins in 1955, but he got cut. And he was very successful at Arizona State, but all of a sudden, after 10 years, that support that he had started to fall apart on him. So I guess what I'm saying here is that sometimes, in order to succeed, you have to fail.
But I got fired at Arizona State University because I let go of a very successful football coach. and I suspect we all get tested periodically. I didn't feel very good about that experience, but I didn't feel very bad about it either.
Now, the first thing that Fred Miller did when he got to San Diego State was hire Denny Stoles, and Stoles is a man who is as good at coaching football teams as Miller is at building athletic departments. And let me just give you a little rundown now on the background of Denny Stoles. After coaching 6 years at his college alma mater, which is also called Alma College, Stoles took over at Michigan State in 1973 for the legendary Duffy Daugherty. But 1974, that was a big year for him. His team upset #1 ranked Ohio State. The Spartans also were ranked number 12 in the nation, and he was named Big Ten Coach of the Year. After that, he moved on to Bowling Green in 1977, and he revived another struggling football program there, winning 2 league titles in 9 years, and both times being named Conference Coach of the Year. But his best season at Bowling Green was 1985. The offense averaged over 31 points a game, and quarterback Brian McClure became only the second passer to throw for more than 10,000 yards in NCAA history. And although Bowling Green finished 11-1, and they went to a bowl game that year, Stoles felt that the San Diego State job just had too much potential to pass up.
I think Fred and myself saw San Diego with more national image potential than the local people did. I think when I got here, I heard so many things about what we couldn't do. We can't beat BYU, or we can't beat Air Force, or we can't this, we can't that. And those things are just, they're just asinine. There's any reason San Diego State can't. So I think Fred has done a great job of bringing out the potential of the university. I think last year's football team made him and I look very, very good because we anticipated that we were going to have a good year, and we promised the community that we'd have a very competitive football team. But then the kids had to come through and do it. And that football team will be in the hearts and minds of San Diego people for a long, long time. It's kind of like your first child. That's kind of special. That's the team. The 86 team is the one that set this foundation and set this thing rolling. And Fred and I picked up on that, fortunately.
Now, if you ask Denny Stoles why the San Diego State football program has had this immediate success, he'll tell you that it's really very simple. It's all because of Fred Miller. Because the man has the ability to get to the heart of administrative problems, and then what he does is leave the coaching to the coaches.
Fred Miller has the ability to understand that there are certain things that he can waste an awful lot of time, and he works on the big picture. And I think he's a very talented administrator. I think not only in football, I think he has the support of the entire athletic department, which an awful lot of administrators don't have.
I'd like them to think that I know what I'm doing, and that we have the energies to go ahead and do it, and to challenge some things that shouldn't be challenged in the eyes of some people. I think San Diego and this whole community, is destined to be number one. And
this location, I think, is ripe for a major force in NC2A football. The market's here, the media's here, the public's here, the weather's here. It's a great lifestyle, and we've got 2 winners sitting up front in Fred Miller and Denny Stoles.